was from there, and I have, 2 older kids that have been living in St. Petersburg, um, and, I have family members that are still living there, and I'm rattled this morning, Lou. I'm rattled because of the tragedy that's unfolding in that country, and it's affecting me deeply emotionally right now. I hope not. Well, I mean, it's already too late. I was, when I was living there, even though it was the eastern part of Ukraine and it was the Soviet Union, there was still a lot of national pride to being a Ukrainian. And when they seceded from the Soviet Union, when the Soviet Union collapsed, it was a huge nationalistic outpouring. And I don't think Russia really understands how much national pride there is for Ukrainian identity. The the there was such an ingrown hatred towards the Muscovites, even back in the early 90s, for all of the Moscow policies that repressed the Ukrainians over decades, over centuries, and now it's completely solidified. So I'm rattled. I'm rattled for the people that are dying, that are living in anger, have taken up arms against an invading power that has threatened their sovereignty and their identity. I'm rattled because I have family that is caught in the conflict, and this is a completely unnecessary action that the Russians have taken, and our initial instigation with NATO was unnecessary. So I ask everyone's forgiveness this morning as I'm a little bit I'm a little distracted. Yeah, yeah. Well, we'd like to last week Lou, last 2 weeks we talked about EndoLyft here on Great Health Live. You did. He's a lovely guy, isn't he? Hmm. He does. You didn't. So you wanna start with the Flocka story? But before that, we would like to hear from we haven't heard from many people. We heard from LJ last week. We and Kit. We'd like to hear from people. Do you have your own, uh, Endolift story? Do you have your own Ultra Curse story? We're on here almost every week talking about our LPS curcumin technology. Now we have LPS quercetin curcumin, berberine. We have all sorts of things that have been really transformative for people. We, I believe, people don't believe what companies have to say. We really need to hear from you. I'm bribing you. I will give you some free product if you have your story to tell. It really helps everybody because then we get to hear your honest opinions about what's working and maybe what's not working. We actually get some great ideas from people here on the radio for new products and some new ideas. So the number to call is 405-478-1520. 405-478-1520. This is Great Health Live, and this is KOKC 1520. So what's your story, Lou? Mhm. What happened? So what was happening? How old is she? Okay, right. Oh, like her bottom or yeah. And this is Ultra Pet. Except for adding Ultra Pet. Well, let's go back. What is Ultra Pet? Ultra Pet is just 4 ingredients. There's nothing artificial, no artificial flavorings. It's just pure ingredients. The first ingredient is Ultra, so it's our whey protein Ultra Cur. The second ingredient is glucosamine, and we're using a glucosamine that's bovine source, and then we use chondroitin, which is a bovine chondroitin source. Those are the 3 ingredients that I really believe help lubricate the joints, help lubricate the skin, and then we're using for nutrition. Yep. And then the next one is brewer's yeast. Has a lot of vitamins in it, so it and a lot of minerals, micro minerals in it. So it really helps supplement a lot of different things that are going on in the body. Um, I, you know, Itching is really is one step before pain, right? So it's when we itch, it really is a slight irritation of the pain receptor. And so I'm thinking, Lou, that maybe she had some inflammatory processes going on there. Maybe the glucosamine and chondroitin help support healthy skin, but definitely, the UltraCure helps support healthy inflammation. Yeah, sure. I like it's an medium chain triglycerides in there. Mm, wow. Well, I need to take Ultra Pet. Hey, we have a caller here. I think it's Dr. McDade. Morning. Oh my gosh, that's great. Yeah. Hmm. The pro. Wow. So I don't know. I'll be honest, Doc. I don't know much about mTOR. I do know a lot about apoptosis. So you're talking about clearing senescent cells out of the body? Okay. That's interesting. I mean, aging is an accumulation of senescent cells, right? So we don't have enough room for healthy cells to proliferate. And not to go too far down a rabbit hole, but people used to think that, or still think that maybe telomere length had something to do with um, how regenerative your body was. And I think that's a misnomer. Telomere length is more of a after effect of cell aging and not the direct descendant of what's causing aging. But so um, you think curcumin is actually affecting mTOR and helping to clear out. So how would that affect somebody that's aging, doc, in your opinion? Okay. Hmm. Yeah. So it's kind of a negative feedback loop. When we get older, the damage of our youth causes inflammation in different parts of our bodies because we've worn things down. And the immune cells trying to mitigate what they look at, the body just senses an attack, right? When we're walking on worn joints or using worn tissue, the body looks at it as an inflammation event, and we direct immune cells to try to attack and mitigate what's going on. So if we lower the inflammatory attack response, which curcumin also does, then we can actually start to rebuild tissue. So are you seeing this in your patients? Are they looking younger, feeling better? Mm. Hey, doc, have you heard about our new product, Ultra Cur Advanced? Yeah, well, it's a standalone product that we developed actually in our Onco Adjunct product line as a way to help modulate glucose metabolism for people that are dealing with cancer. And so berberine is a polyphenol, so it has the hallmark. It's very poorly dissolved in the gut. It's like devil's claw. It's like curcumin. It doesn't dissolve. It doesn't absorb at all. Right. And the problem with berberine, it's also highly antimicrobial. And if you take enough to get it into your into your bloodstream, you're affecting your own biome, your own body. And people can get gastric distress or diarrhea, all sorts of issues. Sure. It does. It does. So we actually bind the berberin to a whey protein scaffolding. So all of it gets absorbed into the bloodstream, and none of it gets stays in the gut. So people get all the benefits of the absorbable berberin and none of the gastric distress. We see amazing results. Doc, I'd like to get some of we call it ultra onco adjunct pathway 3, but it's just whey protein berberine. Can I get a couple of bottles into your hands so you could play with it? Yeah. Oh my. Yeah, I mean, the pharmaceutical is great, but if you can modulate yourself metabolically, you can reverse diabetes. Right, exactly, exactly, exactly. So Lou, we use you got them. Great. And we actually have so the Pathway 3, Doc, is our consumer grade berberine. We do make a clinical grade that uses N-acetylcysteine. We haven't launched it yet. We've launched it in limited numbers for a doctor out in, the state of Georgia, not the country Georgia. And, they he uses it as he's a naturopath. He uses it as a replacement for people with, that wanna get off of metformin. It's really interesting. So, there might be enough momentum for us to launch the N-acetylcysteine version. Well, you get that with UltraCur Pro, so you get the curcumin and the, N-acetylcysteine all in one whammy. Oh, thank you. It was I was born in that year. I was born in that year too. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. Dr. McDade. We'll make it happen. We did. Hey, go ahead, Josh. That's great. Yeah, it's a he's I learned from him. I need to go back to the literature and look at mTOR and apoptosis. Such an amazing, resource to, so I really appreciate you coming on, Dr. McDade. We learned from you. We really appreciate you. You really? Yeah, oh, that's right, yeah, I forget about that. Yeah, that's, oh, come on. Well, it is important, the doc brought up this important idea about apoptosis and senescent cells. There's some strategies that try to reawaken senescent cells. And there's some strategies that, we're kind of like, well, let's just get those old cells out of the way. It's a little bit kind of it's genocide of sorts, but we're clearing out the useless tissues to make room for healthy tissues. What do you mean? Well, well, chlorophyll, that's a kind of an energy source, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, you gave me some of that stuff. Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff. We have time for one more call. We gave some product away to Dr. McDade this morning. The phone number to call is 405-478-1520. 405-478-1520. I have to believe that somebody out there has an Ultra Care story. Somebody or an EndoLyft story or an Ultra Pet story. Come on, people. I'm I have free products sitting in front of me begging to be given away to you guys. It's a bribe, I know, but people need to hear from you. They want to hear your experience, what happened in your life or in your pet's life or in a loved one's life. Oh no. Right, you weren't able to open the store for a couple of days. Yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah, it's kind of I was slipping around the city a little bit, and I have a four-wheel drive Mini Cooper, and we do good, really good. In fact, I drove my wife to work this morning because she didn't trust the roads or other people for that matter. So yeah, let's see what they have to say. Hey, good morning, Becky. What's going on? Hmm. Oh my gosh. How long was this going on for, Becky? That's awesome. That's amazing. Yeah, because the defense also has quercetin, and so we have said it's an amazing product for total organ defense. Becky, was there any kind of things that happened to you that might have like that started this thing with your foot? Oh, interesting. True. Yeah, and then we can also get like infections and things going on in the tendons and connective tissue that we don't from the surgery. Yep. Yep. So, and Becky, you said how long did it take for you to notice a difference? Okay. Yep. Becky, thank you so much for calling. Yeah, go for it. Let's be, can you condense it? Oh my god. Do you think he's got health is improving too? Well, why don't you get another bottle of Ultra Pet and give us a call in a couple of weeks and give us a follow-up, would you? Yeah, thank you for calling. Yeah, thank you, Lou.
Thank you.